The homestand for Atlanta United 2 continues in Kennesaw, and a rival comes to town. It's the Stripes, the Charleston Battery, the USL Championship on ESPN Plus next. Time for some weekend action at the Fraction. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. The homestand continuing for Atlanta United 2, coming in with a record of 0-3, and a rival comes to town, the Charleston Battery. Their third match of the year with a record of 1-1. Alongside Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. And Jason, it's a chance to put the Tampa Bay match behind Atlanta United 2.
It's a chance for these two teams as well to try to find some offense this year. Atlanta United 2 looking for their first goal of the year. Charleston Battery only one goal scored in 2 matches.
And if Atlanta United 2 is going to score that first goal on the season, it's going to have to be up against one of the best in the USL Championship. 6th year with the club, Joe Kuzminski, longest tenured Battery player, 89 starts coming into this one, 29 clean sheets. The Denver native spent some time in the Colorado Rapids Academy, and he holds things down for the Battery in the back. For the home side, a really cool moment tonight for one of Atlanta United 2's young players.
Jonathan Vishal, one of the most exciting young players Atlanta United 2 has to offer, signed his pro contract in the offseason, 17 years old. Jack Collison called him a little magic man. We saw him off the bench against Tampa Bay, his first career start tonight.
That is your early look at Atlanta United 2 and the Charleston Battery. The 17s are out tonight to show their support in this as the homestand continues. It's the Stripes. It's the Charleston Battery when we come back, starting 11s in the first 45. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Stick and stay. We will be back.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to give you a better, seamless, more unified experience, so you can simply access and manage your care all in one place, with tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime, and even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont, real change lives here.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. Awaiting the start of Atlanta United 2 and the Charleston Battery. You see Robbie Mertz. He'll be wearing the captain's armband tonight, bringing the banner out for the exchange. Let's get into the starting lineup, starting off with the Charleston Battery, Jason. And you look at this particular lineup, 3 changes from the loss in Keyworth a week ago, 2 of them at the back.
Yeah, missing a few people due to international duty. A couple of surprises as well. Andrew Booth was listed as questionable coming into the match. The signee from the Greenville Triumph in USL League One will be on the right side of the midfield, but high-powered attack with Augustine Williams and Aiden Apodaca.
On the flip side, for the home side, let's take a look at this one. Aiden McFadden returns. What else sticks in your mind for Jack Collison's crew?
It's a young team, as you're always going to see with Atlanta United too, but a couple of veterans defensively, and Mikey Ambrose and Alex DeJohn in the lineup tonight. I'm excited to see this trio up top. David Mejia and Jonathan Vijal have been the two players who have produced the most chances alongside Robbie Mertz. Jackson Conway should have the opportunity to get on the score sheet tonight.
And when these two teams combine, it is 2-2-2 for Atlanta United 2 here at home. Man in the middle tonight is Kyle Johnston. Your AR is Ben Regal, Joe Sikoski, and your fourth is Madzid Koric, and that's the crew tonight here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw. You see the Charleston Battery. They are in their road whites. Atlanta United 2 in their home black outfits with the 5 stripes north-south down the back. And we are underway from Kennesaw. Keep an eye on the breeze. Very, very stiff wind as you're watching here. It's coming from the top of your screen to the bottom of your screen, up and over the press box and headed toward the field of play. So we'll keep an eye on that when it comes to Charleston as they go from left to right here in the first 45. First foray by Atlanta United 2. First touch by Aiden McFadden. No whistle there from Johnston. We're going to go forward with Charleston.
Nice recovery from Brendan Lamb, covering the right back position for Aiden McFadden.
Dangerous pass, but coming out to get it, Dylan Castanera. Work at the back by Charleston as they try to come over the top one more time. Alex DeJohn is back there for Atlanta United 2. Spinning away from Augustine Williams. He'll give to Castanera. And Castanera to Noah Cobb.
Great first touch from Lamb away from trouble.
McFadden to Nicholas Firmino. Trying to get away from trouble on his own. Last touch by DZ Harmon. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Quick restart there, a minute 20 in. Lamb, we're going to get a foul just outside the box, it looks like, on Brendan Lamb. And an early card, a minute 20 seconds in for Brendan Lamb.
Feels completely out of place where we are early in the game there. Referee Kyle Johnston throwing the card early on Lamb. As good as the last first touch was, this one was not. It put him into trouble. We'll try to get a look at that replay to see what happened on the collision. Lamb arguing he got shoulder to shoulder. Referee Johnston seeing it otherwise.
DZ Harmon and Ina Kwakwa both there for the Battery. Two-man wall for Atlanta United 2, Robbie Mertz and Lamb. Just outside the area, Harmon and Kwakwa discussing what they want to do here. Castanera, clean sight toward the top of the 6th, headed away. Having to track it down very quickly, Preston Kilwine, so the Battery can keep possession. Jackson Conway doing a great job of harassing, trying to keep the Battery from doing anything with it. Kwakwa keeps possession for the visitors. First touch by Tristan Weber, trying to go all the way from the left to the right, up and over everybody. It'll be a throw for Mikey Ambrose in Atlanta United 2.
You won't say keeps possession very often for the visitors. Very low possession numbers this season. Low passing completion percentages for Charleston. It's all about activating the pressure. We see it with the ball played long. They want to press, turn Atlanta over in their defensive third and go to goal immediately.
Just under 40% possession so far for Charleston in their 2 matches this year. And a great ball looking for Jonathan Vijal. Looked like he got caught up in the breeze just a little bit. Ends up with Joe Kuzminski.
That coming across would be going into the wind. Just kind of died. I think the idea was great to get Vijal in behind.
Halfway through the 4th minute here. Thanks for accessing us, large device or small, here with Atlanta United 2 and the Charleston Battery. Alex DeJohn gets to the ball first before Augustine Williams does, but the Battery trying to work down the right-hand side, keeping possession. Williams flicks it inside the 18.
cleared by Atlanta United 2. We get a whistle from Johnston, and it's going to stick with Atlanta United 2. Foul on Damaduro.
A quick yellow on the way for Charleston as well.
Yellow on Tristan Weber. So Weber gets a yellow here in the 5th minute.
Delaying the restart. 2 quick yellows. Johnston trying to set the tone early.
Atlanta United 2, having played in the midweek, the 3-0 loss to Tampa Bay here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Charleston having a week to think about their 1-0 loss in Detroit, and Hamtramck at Keyworth losing to Detroit City in their home opener in USL Championship. Foul on Firmino.
Firmino takes out 2 Battery players jumping through to try to win that header. Game's going to be frantic if Charleston controls the pace. If Atlanta will try to calm down a little bit and play through that pressure, which can be dangerous, they can control the pace a bit.
Preston Kilwine wearing the C tonight for Charleston. Sends it up into the breeze to John. Heads it to Mikey Ambrose. Give to David Mejia, but not all the way out. Here comes Charleston again. Damaduro sends it back to Kilwine. Kilwine trying to work quickly up through the middle. Good turn to Andrew Booth. Sent in toward the top of the 18. Second chance deflected. Castanera's there. Easy in for the Charleston Battery and Aiden Apodaca halfway through the 6th minute. And it's 1-0 to the visitors.
The Battery are so good at making you uncomfortable on the pitch and in your defensive third. They do it again here. The first cross comes in, and Alex DeJohn gets the clearance there. It comes right back, and Apodaca's on the backside. It's just wave after wave of Battery players. John blocks that cross, but it comes right back to Harmon. Plays it across. Apodaca, after the touch from Castanera, it's too easy for him. It's all about that pressure for Charleston. Connor Casey making this team his. They have a very different style than we've seen from the Battery in the past. So far, so good tonight.
Couple of faces were holdovers for the Battery here in 2022. And another chance here for Charleston working quickly off the turnover. DZ Harmon. Good work by Firmino to muscle that one away. Here comes Robbie Mertz. Mertz under pressure with Weber and Booth. Last touch by Charleston's going to stick with Atlanta United 2. They're going to have to work quickly here. Lamb under pressure. Apodaca nicely done. Into the middle, DZ Harmon. Had Augustine Williams off to his right. Pulled it back, give to Damaduro. Weber. Top of the area with the left, chested down. Picked away by Atlanta United 2. It'll be a throw for the Battery.
Noah Cobb gets that clearance into the stands, gives Atlanta a chance to breathe.
Constant pressure, as you mentioned, so far from the Charleston Battery. Kilwine with the left. Cobb settles up into the air. Jackson Conway looking over his right shoulder to try to track it down. Patrick Hogan. Sends it out for the Charleston Battery. Aiden McFadden now with the throw. Late minute number 8. Atlanta United 2 already down 1-0. Your keys to the match, Jason?
For Atlanta, they've got to gel more than we've seen. The passing has not been quite what Jack Collison has wanted all year. Tonight, not a great start in that department. And the pressure, the energy, it has to be contagious for Atlanta United. For Charleston, they have come out clean in this one, and that pressure is all about holding you down and preventing you from playing your game.
Mikey Ambrose with the left, and Nicholas Firmino is saying it was last touched by the Charleston Battery. It's going to be a corner for Atlanta United 2.
But that's how you deal with the pressure. You play through it. Early on, Atlanta's tried to play long. They've tried to just get it forward to not have to deal with the pressure. They've got to play their game. Mikey Ambrose getting down the left, putting in a dangerous cross.
Working quickly, Mejia just inside the 18. His shot's blocked. Kwakwa tries to come away with it, and there's going to be a foul on Atlanta United 2.
Mejia tracking back, tries to get a boot in on that, missed, caught the attacker.
Kwakwa, one of the new faces for Connor Casey here with the Charleston Battery.
Quite a number of new faces for the Charleston Battery. Connor Casey has some different connections in bringing players to the Low Country. And this is a team that is very different. They have a different kind of personality than we've seen in the past.
Matt Sheldon dueling with David Mejia. Sheldon gets called for the foul.
Sheldon at FC Tulsa last season was a stalwart for them at right back. Really fits the style that Connor Casey wants Charleston to play this year.
DeJohn back and forth with Castanera. Here comes Augustine Williams with that first bit of pressure that we've been talking about from Charleston. Noah Cobb doubling back after Apodaca was there in his line of sight. Long ball from Castanera to Mikey Ambrose. Ambrose to Mejia. Into the middle through Vijal to Aiden McFadden. McFadden on the right. Sends it in toward the penalty spot. Volleyed and wide. Atlanta United 2 calling for a corner on their own. It's going to be a goal kick.
Cross was a little behind Jackson Conway. Robbie Mertz tried to rescue it with a fall away volley. Just over the head of Conway, and Mertz not able to redirect that on the frame.
Went through the legs of Patrick Hogan. Was worth Atlanta United 2 trying to influence Kyle Johnston and the ARs, trying to get a corner. Did not touch Hogan, so Kuzminski sends it up into the breeze. Headed back and forth in the volley now with the left. DeJohn back to defend. Headers continue. And here comes Vijal for Atlanta United 2. Looking for Jackson Conway. Intercepted Patrick Hogan. Harmon intercepted. Here comes Alex DeJohn now.
It's a great read by Alex DeJohn. Stepping up into the midfield too in possession. That's one way to break pressure from the Battery. If these center backs and these defenders can carry it forward.
Nicholas Firmino tries to get it to McFadden, but Weber was there. Damaduro sends it back. Up the right looking for Augustine Williams. Contact found. Booth can't keep the handle. And Firmino ends up with it for Atlanta United 2 early in the 13th minute.
When Atlanta takes the time to get their head up and catch their breath a little bit in possession, they're finding some gaps in this pressure.
DeJohn, a lot of room to move up the left. Give to Mikey Ambrose. Trying to find Mejia, too much on it. Sheldon will get there first. And it's going to go back to the Charleston Battery.
Mejia clipped Sheldon from behind. Free kick for Charleston.
One of 3 matches here in USL Championship tonight. I'll give you a peek at what happened on a very busy Saturday. One match already in the books out west. One coming up tonight. We'll give you all that stuff, all that information coming up at halftime. Mikey Ambrose quickly gets it past Castanera, too much on it. Communication wasn't there, and it's a corner for Charleston here early in the 14th.
It's not about communication, it's about pressure. And it's Mikey Ambrose under pressure. They're expecting a little bit of help from Dylan Castanera. Connor Casey doesn't want to show his face, but he's very happy with what he's seeing so far. Wants to hide that smile, I'm sure. This team is playing the brand of soccer that Connor Casey wants them to do. They want to disrupt Atlanta United 2's build-up. He talked about how the Twos have been very strong in that. He wanted to disrupt it. So far, so good tonight.
Kwakwa toward the penalty spot, headed down. Back and forth, and sent wide by Charleston. Another close chance there for the Charleston battery. Castanera working quickly, trying to find Mejia. Sheldon up into the air.
Had a 1v1 opportunity. If you see that, give David Mejia the opportunity to get on the end of it.
Augustine Williams sends it to himself to keep possession. Up the right, Mikey Ambrose is there for Atlanta United 2 to defend. Damaduro. Booth. Work backward one line to try to come up 2 lines, and it's going to be a foul called on the Charleston battery on Damaduro this time.
Duro went flying into the back of Robbie Mertz. No way he could get to the ball to play it. Take another look at it here. Easy call for Kyle Johnston.
Lamb back to Castanera. Over to Noah Cobb. Apodaca in pursuit.
Great ball from Cobb.
Vijal can't hang on to it. It'll be a throw for the Charleston battery.
Skipped up quick to Vijal. It was a great ball from Noah Cobb.
Vijal and McFadden there to get the ball away from Kwakwa. Nicely done. Step over by Vijal. Center circle, Robbie Mertz. He's got Ambrose to his left. That's where he goes, just inside the area. Ambrose too much on as he was trying to center it in toward the back post. Up and over, goal kick.
Not sure if Mikey Ambrose mishit that or saw something about Kuzminski coming off his line just a bit. Jack Collison pleased with that foray into the attacking half. He wants this team to be better with the ball than they were in the first half against the Tampa Bay Rowdies on Wednesday. But he also wants them to maintain their aggressiveness and their identity. They can't resort to playing long because Charleston's pressure is good. He wants to hold them to that standard of playing the Atlanta United way and playing out of the back.
Johnson saying it was last touched by Mikey Ambrose there as he won the header. Ambrose gets the throw and intercepts it. Flick idea by Augustine Williams. And the back and forth continues. Alex DeJohn now for Atlanta United 2. Looking for Jackson Conway. Patrick Hogan there defending. Another foul on Atlanta United 2 here near center line.
Firmino late. Goes through the back of Oduro. Nicholas Firmino continuing the role that he's had with Atlanta United 2, a little bit deeper than you might remember him during his days with the New England Revolution 2 and with Union Omaha in USL League 1. Suits him pretty well. He's been a player that has been productive in the midfield so far, playing maybe a little bit of a deep lying playmaker role. But the defensive responsibilities have been pretty good from Firmino so far.
Dominic Oduro still feeling the effects of that last challenge. Sheldon sending it up into the air. Castanera there, easy grab. Had it tracked the entire time. You see Augustine Williams, Aiden Apodaca. Pressuring for Charleston. DeJohn back to Dylan Castanera. Has Noah Cobb to his right. And there's your update from Orlando on the upper right-hand part of your screen. USA's up 4-0 over Panama at the break.
Love it. 3 goals early for the U.S. Greg Berhalter pushing all the right buttons for the U.S. men's national team tonight.
Great ball by Dylan Castanera to get Mikey Ambrose and David Mejia working down the left-hand side. Mejia and a foul on Sheldon. Set piece opportunity just outside the 18 for Atlanta United 2 as they chase an equalizer here early in the 19th minute.
Great run for David Mejia. Had Matthew Sheldon on skates as he cut back inside. Goes to the right. Sheldon has nothing he can do. Shoves Mejia down. Opportunity here with a couple of guys who are very good on set pieces. David Mejia could go to goal with his right. Mikey Ambrose could go to goal with his left or bring it across to the back post as Jackson Conway's lurking on the back side of the play.
So let's see what the end result of the discussion was. It's Mejia, one hop. Kuzminski is there for the save. Augustine Williams will send it up the right-hand side for Charleston, but Atlanta United 2 continues with Robbie Mertz. Vijal, great ball, great idea, but the battery are there.
Caught Firmino by surprise. Vijal.
And a foul on Firmino again on Damaduro.
That's a couple for Firmino, and he gets the yellow card for persistent infringement. A lot of cards early on from Kyle Johnston.
3 in the first 20 minutes. Second for Atlanta United 2. Remember, Brendan Lamb got the one right off the top, and then Tristan Weber for delaying the start back in the 5th. So Firmino is the 3rd yellow here in the first 20. Mikey Ambrose tries to win that challenge, sent through. Apodaca just missed. Goal number 2 there for the Charleston Battery, kept in by Kwakwa. Tries to go up and over McFadden. Defending well, gets help from Noah Cobb. Looking for Jackson Conway towards center line. Firmino now looking for Conway. Great control there by Conway to find Robbie Mertz. Mertz to Mikey Ambrose. Ed Mejia ahead of him on the left. Working back to Firmino now. Lamb was calling for it. You're going to get a foul there. As Jackson Conway hits the turf. Quick restart there by Vijal. Finds Mejia. Mejia with the left and just missed. The chance there for Atlanta United 2, and Mejia knew it.
David Mejia with a very difficult shot here. Great work on the dribble. Quick free kick, caught everyone by surprise. Vijal gave it to Mejia. Cut to his left. I think that might have actually hit the far post.
I think you're right.
Mejia's going for the far upper 90, and you could just see it skim off the post. Really difficult angle that Mejia almost navigated.
Confidence is always there from David Mejia. No whistle from Johnston on that coming together of Apodaca and Alex DeJohn. Charleston looking for it, didn't get it. Atlanta United 2 now in possession halfway through the 22nd. McFadden gets around Kwakwa. Into the middle. Tries to get past DZ Harmon. Deflected, but it ended up in possession with DeJohn. DeJohn to Mikey Ambrose. Lamb in the middle.
McFadden had to fight through that dribble because Charleston had put him into an alley where they almost forced a bad turnover.
Robbie Mertz finds Vijal. Kilwine there to defend. Lamb quickly to Ambrose on the left. Room for Mikey Ambrose to move. Looking for Firmino. Poked away, and it'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here early in the 23rd.
Nice defensive work by DZ Harmon dropping back.
Firmino can't control the initial entry. Now back and forth with Ambrose as Atlanta United 2 keeps possession. But John all the way back to Castanera to draw Charleston forward. Conway wins the duel with Kilwine, but the only one there is Tristan Weber for the Battery. Vijal tries to force a decision from Weber. Well defended there by Robbie Mertz, but it'll be a throw for Charleston.
Vijal doesn't get the takeaway, but he steps up and forces the heavy touch.
Weber, good idea for Booth. Too much on it. Castanera's there.
You have to stay locked in playing the Battery. They make it difficult for you, just immediately looking to get the ball forward. Don't really care if they find a teammate on that first ball forward. It's these moments where they excel.
Kilwine there won the challenge against Vijal, but Atlanta United 2 comes away with it in possession. Vijal cuts inside with the left past Weber. Jackson Conway will track it down toward the top of the 18, looking for David Mejia. Knocked away, but not all the way out. Mertz pops up into the air. Kuzminski gets it on the first bounce.
Great idea from Jackson Conway to take that cross quickly. Has to be perfect. It's not. It doesn't get all the way to Mejia, but Robbie Mertz picks up the second ball, Shot blocked at the end of it, but Atlanta's starting to find some space.
Jonathan Vijal there defending nicely to create it once again for Atlanta United 2. Aiden McFadden looking for help, finds it with Vijal. Cuts it centrally, finds Conway down the right. Cuts it back, great nutmeg there. Defended well by Charleston in the recovery, and the Battery come back the other way.
Jackson Conway on the dribble, pulls off the nutmeg, but the second defender for Charleston there to clean it up.
Ambrose gets there before DZ Harmon does. Robbie Mertz now looking for Ambrose down the left. Patrick Hogan there to intervene. It's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2 halfway through the 25th.
Feels like these last 5 minutes or so, Atlanta United 2 starting to gain control of the match, starting to find space to operate in, and a lot of it is because number 37, Jonathan Vishal, is getting on the ball in some dangerous spots.
Foul on Andrew Booth that time, as Robbie Mertz was trying to work his way around Booth's left shoulder. Once again, Mikey Ambrose and David Mejia over the set piece. From about 35 or so. Let's see what they have in mind. Ambrose toward the penalty spot. Headed up into the air and all the way through and all the way back. Another chance for Atlanta United 2. Joe Kuzminski with both hands skyward toward his defense.
Kuzminski makes an incredible save the first time. It's almost knocked back towards his own net. Dangerous ball played in by Mikey Ambrose and flicked on.
So David Mejia quickly to Vijal. Vijal. Mejia in with the right. Far post. Looking for Firmino. Jackson Conway tries to save it. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Charleston Battery.
Nice defending from Matthew Sheldon in that. Vijal and Mejia starting to make their presence felt in this one.
Early in the 27th minute, goal by Aiden Apodaca is the goal that we have on the board so far. DeJohn won first touch. DZ Harmon settles it. Sent toward the top of the arc, up into the air. Noah Cobb wins it for Atlanta United 2. Mertz to Vijal. Vijal can't keep possession. Apodaca off to his right, and Andrew Booth. DeJohn there to defend. Give to Robbie Mertz. Jackson Conway, kill line challenge. They're going to call it right in the second one.
Persistent infringement yellow card was given to Nicholas Firmino. That's the second time that Jackson Conway has had a foul called where he's hit from behind. It's a consistent tactic here, and we'll see if Johnston gives kind of a team yellow whoever commits the next one, because this is how they're breaking up the play when Atlanta breaks that first line of pressure.
Pressure from behind by two Charleston players on Mikey Ambrose. DeJohn is there to help out. Castanera off to his right. Noah Cobb with a little bit of room. Aiden McFadden trying to find a way to get around Kwakwa. Gets it past Augustine Williams, back to Castanera. Down the left-hand side, Sheldon is there. He'll get the header first, and he's on the turf. No call from Johnston, no whistle. Mejia looking to get around Sheldon. Give to Robbie Mertz again. Mertz on the switch to McFadden down the right-hand side. He's got Vijal off his right shoulder. Cuts centrally. Finds Mejia, and the flag is up, offside on Atlanta United 2.
Mejia's confused by that. We don't have the best angle on it, but was very close, it appeared.
Mejia asking questions of the AR.
Was very, very close. Jackson Conway wanted that from Aiden McFadden earlier. Thought he had some space on the back side.
Ambrose wins to Mejia. Foul on Charleston. Looked like it was on Damaduro that time. Lamb working quickly, too quickly. Weber, Mikey Ambrose there to defend, but Booth was there for Charleston. The back and forth continues. Castanera will pick it up.
If you're going to take that free kick quickly like Brendan Lamb did, you have to make sure that you have the option that you're playing. Wasn't able to pick that one out.
Over to DeJohn. He'll give to Noah Cobb. Augustine Williams was the pressure for Charleston. Cobb goes back to Dylan Castanera. Halfway through the 30th minute, 1-0 Charleston Battery.
Teams that play and press in the way that Charleston is doing this year will have letdowns in games. They'll just have moments where it's not there. Atlanta has to take advantage.
Jonathan Vijal, once again, great work to try to get around the pressure.
It's another foul in the middle third, though. Another one that breaks up the play. Atlanta has to take a free kick. Charleston able to recover.
DeJohn, Mikey Ambrose. As David Mejia running with him. Mejia cuts it to the inside, goes big switch with the right. McFadden is there. Good settle on the first touch. Gets around Weber. Can't keep possession, though. Kilwine looking for Apodaca. DZ Harmon sends it with the right up into the air. Dylan Castanera there. No one for Charleston challenging.
See, these are the kind of moments. Nobody steps up to press. Nobody chases this down for Charleston. They're not really built to defend on their heels like they have to in the sequence. We'll see if Atlanta can make something of it.
McFadden. Kwakwa on him. Give to DeJohn. Got away from Apodaca. Give to David Mejia. Gets around DZ Harmon. Too much for Firmino, but Vijal is there. Back to Brendan Lamb. Down the right-hand side finds Aiden McFadden. Weber blocks. It's going to be a throw deep in the attacking third for Atlanta United 2. McFadden looking for a partner. Lamb circles around. Vijal circles around. Throws it back to Noah Cobb with a little bit of room. Cobb for the top of the sixth. Headed Jackson Conway just wide.
Great ball from Noah Cobb. Jackson Conway makes good contact with this on the header. He's starting to find some gaps between these Charleston center backs, but the header just pushed wide. Beautiful service from Cobb. Conway's header just glancing to the far side.
Elevating above Patrick Hogan. And the near miss for Atlanta United 2 as they're chasing the equalizer. DeJohn wins the header. Didn't quite win the second one, but got enough into Augustine Williams' line of sight. So here comes Atlanta United 2 again. Can Firmino save it? Yes, briefly. Foul there on Sheldon. And it looks like Sheldon's going to get a yellow. There's your yellow on Johnston, Kyle Johnston. Ref saying no more, and so Sheldon gets the yellow.
These last 15 minutes of the match, Atlanta's had 76.7% of the possession. Great work by Firmino to keep it there, and Mejia brought down by Sheldon. Foul starting to pick up for the Battery. That's the mentality that Connor Casey wants. He wants them to be combative. He wants them to be disruptive. Charleston Battery in 2022 are going to be a very difficult team for opponents.
McFadden, Brendan Lamb. Past Williams finds Firmino. David Mejia. Firmino back and forth with Mertz, now to Mejia. Ambrose with the flick looking for Mertz. In the corner, it's Hogan. Ends up straight to Nicholas Firmino. And they're going to call a foul there on Ina Kwakwa. Here comes Atlanta United 2 working quickly again. Noah Cobb. And Aiden McFadden. Big switch from Cobb. Nicely done to find Mejia. Good first touch to settle. Into the middle. Firmino, 1-on-3, turns away from all of the traffic. Brendan Lamb. Miss hit. McFadden tries to track it down, and he does. Back to Castanera here early in the 35th minute. Alex DeJohn. Into Mejia, but Kwakwa was there. Well done by Brendan Lamb trying to win possession. Firmino couldn't get there for the second ball. Lamb fighting for possession for Atlanta United 2. Robbie Mertz now with it. Brendan Lamb working his way inside the area with the right blocked up into the air, and it's going to be a deep throw, or is it going to stay? Or it just finally trickles out. Quickly back in by Brendan Lamb. Robbie Mertz. Vijal on the turn. 3 Battery players there defending. Back to Brendan Lamb. Cobb, Lamb, Kwakwa was there. No foul called as Lamb hit the turf. Here comes Charleston again. DZ Harmon, Firmino marking him. Give to Apodaca. Booth. Vijal and McFadden were there. Dylan Castanera will pick it up. Castanera quickly down the left-hand side to Mikey Ambrose. Nicholas Firmino. Lamb and back to Mikey.
10 fouls by the Battery in the first 36 minutes.
Cobb has McFadden to his right. That's where he goes. McFadden to Vijal. Good touch by Vijal to find McFadden again. Robbie Mertz centrally. McFadden. Good poke through to Jonathan Vijal. Sent away by Patrick Hogan. Backtracking nicely for the Battery.
Vijal just couldn't bring that under control on the run.
Lamb surveying. Over to Cobb. And to John. Up over Augustine Williams. McFadden settles to Lamb. Castanera. Nicholas Firmino. Robbie Mertz can't hold it. DZ Harmon stood up by Mertz. Well done there. Sheldon gets around David Mejia. Stutter, stop, and start. Sheldon. Back to DZ Harmon. Into the middle and Damaduro. Booth. Looking for Apodaca. It didn't happen. Quick touch by Atlanta United 2. Here comes Nicholas Firmino. Firmino over to Mikey Ambrose. Good settle by Mertz. Couldn't quite hang on to it. And Patrick Hogan was there to defend.
Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice.
Sheldon sends in the player's choice. Mikey Ambrose is there for Atlanta United 2. DeJohn stood up, no whistle. Now you get one.
It's another one on Kwakwa. You almost force the referee into a bit of fatigue of calling fouls. Kind of test him to see if he's going to keep calling those. Atlanta United back to goal, getting hit in the back quite a bit. So far, it's working pretty well for Charleston. Take what the referee gives you.
Firmino gets away from Kwakwa. Back to DeJohn. Finds Vijal, center circle. Gains control, give to Aiden McFadden. Mertz Defending behind was Andrew Booth. It's going to stick with the home side.
It's good patience from Vishal in that build-up. He didn't kind of go try to chase the game, go try to find another spot to get open. He waited because he was in a good place. Waited for the ball to come to him a bit.
Castanera bad pass. DZ Harmon is there. As folks in front of him gets around Firmino, step over, tries to get past Mikey Ambrose. Ambrose stands him up, blocks it, and recovers for Atlanta United 2.
Great defending from Mikey Ambrose.
David Mejia calling for it down the left-hand side, and a foul this time. It's going to be called on Patrick Hogan as he was sending Jackson Conway to the grass.
It's 12. It's another one. Conway fouled another time. I mean, Jack Collison's just apoplectic at this point because you can't play to your forward in the middle third because he's ending up face first in the grass every single time. You can't get out. You're dealing with pressure. You can't play. Keep testing it. Make the calls get made and make the cards get shown.
Robbie Mertz has McFadden behind him. Aiden McFadden returns the favor. Robbie Mertz down the right-hand side. Good flick around Weber. McFadden found Kilwine instead. Here comes Charleston. Aduro. Augustine Williams stood up by DeJohn. Weber can't keep it. It's going to go to Atlanta United 2. And Hogan and Jackson Conway staring and standing at each other. Some pushing and shoving there as well.
But this is what's frustrating. Johnston's going to bring Conway over to talk about it as well. When Conway's been kicked by Hogan and Kilwine every 3 minutes in the match, it seems like. We'll get a look at this off the ball possibly here. I mean, yeah, he's just holding Jackson Conway down. What is Conway supposed to do? He gets dragged down by Kilwine, held down on the ground. Conway just pushes him off. There's nothing else Jackson Conway can do there. But as long as this stuff continues and is allowed, Charleston should keep doing it, to be honest.
As long as you're not getting called.
Well, they're getting called, but they're not getting punished. You're getting called in places at midfield. It's not hurting you. But where things like that are happening, it frustrates young players. Good turn from Conway here.
Conway. Big switch. Mejia chests it down. Has support. Sent toward the top of the box. Vijal stood around and waited for it instead, and Charleston ends up with possession, and it's going to stick with the Battery. Noah Cobb thought it would be going the other way. Battery trying to work quickly. DZ Harmon spins away from Atlanta United 2 defenders. Sheldon. Damaduro. Back and forth with Augustine Williams. He's got Weber to his left. That's where he goes. Vijal is there. Hogan. Kwakwa tries to flick it forward. Ends up with Atlanta United 2. Trying to get it quickly to Mikey Ambrose as it got stuck under a couple of chairs next to the Atlanta United 2 bench. Mejia. Good settle by McFadden. Firmino with a little bit of room. Through Mertz, no one there. Hogan will let it drift all the way back to Kuzminski.
The USL Championship on ESPN moves into April. San Diego Loyal SC welcomes El Paso Locomotive FC for an early season showdown Sunday, April 3rd at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes.
44th minute here. Atlanta United 2. Down a goal to the Charleston Battery. DZ Harmon harassed by both Lamb and Cobb. Sheldon. Booth. Back to Damaduro. Weber. Got a lot of room. Wants to send it with the left. Up and over everything. Goal kick for Atlanta United 2. Nine
shots for Atlanta United 2 so far. 2 on target. more productive tonight than we saw against the Tampa Bay Rowdies in the first half. Still have to find an equalizer after that early battery goal.
Good pass from Cobb to Firmino. Hit Damaduro instead. Here comes DZ Harmon looking for Apodaca. Lamb is there and behind. Blocked up into the air. Headed away by Noah Cobb. DZ Harmon to his left and Augustine Williams. McFadden and Vijal are there. Back to Weber. Kwakwa. Into the corner and DZ Harmon. Vijal well defended there. It's going to be a throw for the Battery. There's Connor Casey.
Had a great interim stint with the Colorado Rapids in 2019. This is his first full-time head coaching gig. For an attacker who scored 2 huge goals in World Cup qualifying in 2009 for the U.S. that sent them to South Africa. It's a very defensive style at times from Charleston.
Up into the air, Damaduro tried to send it into the area, and we're going to get a foul on Charleston.
I think to be clear, in the way that Charleston plays, it's not defensive in the way you might think, in that they sit back and soak up pressure. They defend. Everything is based on how they defend.
A lot of room for Mikey Ambrose. He gives to David Mejia toward the top of the 6th. Kilwine heads it up into the air. Mertz with a volley attempt. Weber launches it towards center circle. Headed down Noah Cobb. 1 minute added here in the first 45. Cobb tried to send it to DeJohn. Apodaca's there instead, but he can't control it.
Great recovery from Cobb.
Lamb finds David Mejia with a little bit of space. Sheldon closes the door, and you're going to get another whistle from Johnston here.
He's on a yellow. That's got to be a second yellow, and Sheldon has to be off.
There it is.
That is a brilliant touch from David Mejia. 1v1 with a player on a yellow. Mejia takes it down with the outside of his right foot, forces Shelton into a decision, and Sheldon goes in recklessly with a tackle. Easy yellow card. Studs up even with the right foot. Watch this take from David Mejia to bring that down. Overcommit from Sheldon. You can see the studs on his boots. That's a second yellow, and Atlanta United 2 will have a man advantage for the entire second 45.
2 cards for Sheldon, about 12 minutes apart.
When you play that physical style, at times you can get burned with it.
Ambrose, Kuzminski is there as he was chasing after Life at the back post, and that's going to be it for the first 45. And our big moment ended up right at the end with a second yellow from Matt Sheldon. And we'll see what Connor Casey does coming up in the second 45. But for the second 45, the Charleston Battery will be playing with 10. They've also got the lead. A goal in the 6th minute by Aiden Apodaca has been the difference so far. We'll come back. We'll take a tour throughout the USL Championship and get you set for the second 45 here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw. It's the USL Championship on ESPN+. The Battery lead Atlanta United 2 at the break, 1-0.
BB&T and SunTrust are now truest, together for better.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
BB&T and SunTrust are now truest, together for better.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to give you a better, seamless, more unified experience, so you can simply access and manage your care all in one place, with tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime, and even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont, real change lives here.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. Charleston up 1-0, but they will be playing the second 45 with 10. We'll see how both teams respond as we take a peek at the second 45 minutes here in the Eastern Conference. Let's take a peek at how things stand after a very busy Saturday night. Lou City, after their first 4 matches, averaging 2.5 points per match so far. They're at the top of the ladder with 10. Tampa Bay, no surprise. They're right there with 8 points as well. Pittsburgh and Loudoun United, the early surprise here in the Eastern Conference with 7. FC Tulsa, Memphis, 901 each with 6. Detroit City with 3 matches under their belt. They're at 4 points along with the Miami FC. Charleston Battery, you know their story coming in here. And that's a look at your top 10 with Red Bulls, too. Let's take a peek at some of the scores from yesterday and earlier today. Detroit City at Keyworth got a big point against Pittsburgh Riverhounds in the 1-1 draw there. We're starting to see some of those early season crossovers with East and West. Colorado Springs got to Birmingham Legion last night, 2-0 at Protective. Lou City and Indy 11, that was a 1-1 draw in that rivalry series. Tampa Bay and Hartford, another surprise, 1-1 draw there as well. Memphis 901 in a crossover in the East-West beats Las Vegas Lights by the score of 1-0. And earlier today, Sacramento Republic at home beats FC Tulsa by the score of 2-1. Let's take a peek at some of the matches coming up here on the ESPN family of networks and ESPN Plus. Wednesday, New Mexico United and Oakland Roots out west. Also on your Friday, Charleston Battery in one of those East-West crossovers that we're talking about. Charleston Battery at Patriots Point going up against Vegas Lights. Saturday, another big matchup at Keyworth early on for Detroit City as Memphis 901 come to town. Next matchup for Atlanta United 2 is in Hartford Saturday night. So we'll be back here for the next home match in 2 weeks. FC Tulsa hosting Red Bulls 2 Saturday night at 8:30. Also, San Antonio FC and Phoenix Rising. That's another big one out west. And that one is also going to be at 8:30 on next Saturday night as well. A lot of matchups early on here in the USL Championship. But that is just a small piece of what's going on around the USL Championship. Here's what else you need to know.
It's a kind bounce. Here's Brett. Brett to chip the netminder, and in it goes to even the score at 1. I'm on that routine. I'm on that routine.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about
Stop
today where I'm gonna go
Yo,
topics.
roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What?
Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What? That's it! San Diego Demons!
What's the money? And for a bog! Crashing in! There it is! First of the year for San Diego!
And it's into the back of the net! El Paso!
Far corner and a 10! What a goal! Are you watching Football Americas?
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
Welcome back to Kennesaw here at the break. We'll kind of take you through what else is going on in USL, not just in USL Championship, but in USL League One and in the Super League as well, as we take a look at our news and notes. And once again, reminder for those of you who follow USL League One in addition to the USL Championship, Lexington is now a part of it as well, and they've come out with their crest and their logos and their colors. Lexington SC now going to be a part of USL League One in the spring of 2023. Multi-use facility as a part of a greater development there in Lexington with the stadium and all the mixed use. Go to their website and you can see what their plans are as Lexington SC comes online in USL League One in 2023. Reminder that the Super League will operate from August to June, aligning with the women's international calendar. That's starting in 2023 as well. And you kind of saw some of the scores about last night. It was all low scores in the East with a lot of defense and then a lot of offense in the West, because if you follow USL Championship later hours here on the East Coast, the last two games were both 3-2s. So it was 3-2 wins. The last two matches in the West, 10 goals total, and you struggled to come up with 10 goals with a lot of the Eastern Conference stuff that happened earlier in the night. So all the offense, if you were looking for it last night in USL Championship, happened in the West when it came to the Western Conference. And speaking of the West, let's take a peek at our USL Championship goal of the week. And it happened from this guy, Nico Brett from New Mexico United in the Derby del Camino Real against El Paso Locomotive. That was the equalizer there. Once again, Nico Brett charges in, sees the keeper come out, chips him up and over the top. And that is your USL Championship fans' goal of the week. Once again, go to USLChampionship.com and you can vote for that one. And you can vote for the save of the week as well. And it comes from Monterrey Bay's Rafael Diaz. Watch right there, off to his left. Diaz, keeping an eye on everything as it's coming toward him, spreads all the way out to his left and gets credit for the save of the week on Haji Berry at Widener Field against Colorado Springs. So a lot of stuff going on. Remember to vote. You go to USLChampionship.com, and usually the winners come out on your Friday. We're at the intermission. Charleston leading Atlanta United 2. We'll get you ready for the second 45 coming up just around the corner. It's the USL Championship on ESPN+.
BB&T and SunTrust are now truest, together for better.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
BB&T and SunTrust are now truest, together for better.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to give you a better, seamless, more unified experience, so you can simply access and manage your care all in one place, with tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime, and even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont, real change lives here.
Welcome back to Fifth Third as we get you ready for the second 45. There's Grant Howard getting as warm as he can. And when you look at the stats at halftime, I know that one particular number stood out, and if we had it as a part of the highlight package, it would probably take us into the 10th minute of the second half. Here's your first half stats. What sticks out?
There we go. I remembered 16 fouls for Charleston, not 0. There was a lot. But look, and I want to be clear in this because, yes, it's frustrating if you're Atlanta United too because it's hard to play. It's constantly disrupting your build-up, what you try to do. But it's working. Now that is going to be tested because it worked a little too well for Matthew Sheldon, who got a second yellow, but it's been effective. How does Charleston adjust now where they don't have as much coverage on the pitch and the referees started to take notice of some of the fouls and warnings have been coming? Are you going to see another second yellow? That's an issue for Charleston. They're going to have to defend a little differently.
Yellows for Lamb, for Weber, and for Firmino that we're going to have to keep an eye on in the second 45. Let's take a peek at how we got to this particular moment in time here in the first 45. Atlanta United 2 in the Battery.
It was a very slow start for Atlanta United 2, and Charleston took full advantage. The cross knocked out of the air, comes right back to Harmon. Apodaca gets on the rebound and puts it home. Atlanta United 2 grew into the game, though. David Mejia causing problems. What a shot with his left foot off the far post. Nearly scored from an impossible angle. Charleston did have their opportunities. Jackson Conway grew into the game. Nice nutmeg there, but the cross was blocked by the second defender. Atlanta United 2 kept the pressure on with crosses, with set pieces. Mikey Ambrose to the back post. Kuzminski goes up in the crowd. Kuzminski is going to be very busy in the second 45, and that man could have a big reason in making him busy.
Darwin Mateus got a couple of minutes last time out in the midweek. He had 6 minutes in his appearance in the end of the match for Atlanta United 2 and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And we'll take a look at what Charleston does formationally and with personnel, playing without Matt Sheldon for the final 45. Let's revisit your keys from the first 45.
The possession work, I think, impetus to build out of the back for Atlanta United 2, it has to be contagious. They did gel as the second 45 went on. Charleston came out clean with that pressure, but how are they going to hold Atlanta down playing with 10 the rest of the way? And by the way, if anybody can tell me the 2 bands that I used songs from in the keys to the game, both native to their own cities, you get bonus points if you can tweet them at me at Longshoe.
I was going to say, tweet the man at Longshoe. I know the first one. I know the first one. I don't know the second one, and I'll be the first person to admit that. As we are set to go here in the second 45. As you're watching the match here, Atlanta United 2 in their All Blacks with the 5 stripes north-south on the back. They're working their way from left to right. And changes for both sides. We'll get into them as the players are integrated into the thought patterns of both Connor Casey and Jack Collison.
Looks like Robbie Mertz is going to sit deeper in the midfield with Firmino. Vishal is going to move in and play the number 10 role for Atlanta United 2 with Mejia on the left and Darwin Mateos on the right. It's a lot of responsibility for Jonathan Vishal in his first pro start, but he has been fearless in the first 45, and he could be the one to unlock the stingy Charleston defense that's only conceded once this season.
And did so on the road last week in their 1-0 loss to Detroit City up at Keyworth. Mejia. Joe Schmidt, who has checked in here in the second 45 for Connor Casey.
So it's Schmidt at right back for Charleston. He's going to get tested immediately.
Mikey Ambrose, good settle, finds David Mejia down the left, just outside the 18, far post, up and over. And it's going to be a throw for the Charleston battery here, minute and a half into the second half.
Poor delivery that time from Mejia. Nice combination work with Ambrose. Mejia will want that one back. He put it over everyone.
They're going to call Mateus there for the handball. Damaduro, one of the first ones to raise his hand on that one, got the call from that man right there, Kyle Johnston. It's going to be interesting to see how Johnston monitors the second 45 with the 16 fouls that were called on Charleston in the first half.
Second 45 will change some, though, because of the 11v10 nature of it. Charleston won't be able to be as aggressive. Will they still try to disrupt the play in that middle third, especially against Jackson Conway and David Mejia? Combined, they drew 8 fouls in the first half.
Augustine Williams loses that battle with Noah Cobb. Well done there by Firmino to keep possession. But the slide tackle keeps it back with the Charleston battery once again, and Ina Kwakwa.
Dominic Oduro just making it difficult for Firmino to play that ball cleanly to Vishal.
Mauro Sachero, another one of the substitutions for Connor Casey, sends it in back post. Easy grab for Dylan Castanera.
Sachero was a college star at SMU. Spent some time with FC Dallas, but had injuries that prevented his time there from being fruitful.
Conway looked over his right shoulder, gets around. Well done there with the right. But it's right on to Joe Kuzminski as he worked his way around Patrick Hogan.
It's brilliant from Jackson Conway with the outside of his right foot to beat Hogan to the inside. Not able to test Kuzminski enough. It's a low-driven shot that Kuzminski's able to handle pretty easily.
Foul on Augustine Williams there. And into the pocket, and a yellow for Augustine Williams.
Unnecessary there from Williams. DeJohn down holding his face. Johnston making sure. Noah Kopp talking to Kyle Johnston. Johnston making sure everyone knows he's got it. He's got everything under control. DeJohn's back up. We'll take another look. Yeah, Williams turned and saw exactly where DeJohn was. That's pretty blatant, honestly. Him. Because it's not even like going up to try to shield him off. He turned and saw where DeJohn was and got the arm out first. That's one that if you had video assistant referees in USL Championship, they might be looking at that. Just unnecessary from Williams there.
Aiden Apodaca is the second player only get 45 minutes for Connor Casey tonight.
Sacrifice a forward to bring on another defender. Pretty easy there.
Noah Cobb. Williams in pursuit. Sent it into the middle, headed clear, but Mikey Ambrose will pick it back up for Atlanta United 2. Mejia trying to find Mateus. Weber was there first. Kwakwa sends it around Robbie Mertz. Augustine Williams with a head of steam. DeJohn is back, one-on-one inside the area. Wants to cut it inside to his right. Well defended by DeJohn. But here comes Sachero, chipping it toward the top of the 18. Volley up into the air by Williams, chested down Robbie Mertz.
Firmino blocked the volley from Williams. Good defending from Firmino. And Mertz earns the free kick. Mertz just knows Sachero is right there. Make sure that he draws the contact. That one's savvy from the veteran midfielder, Robbie Mertz.
Mejia. Back and forth with Ambrose. Firmino over to DeJohn. To his right, Noah Cobb. McFadden. Weber was marking him. Up the right-hand side, Mertz cuts it in, finds McFadden. McFadden takes a peek, tries to send it to the far post. Mejia will track it down in the corner to keep possession for Atlanta United 2. Mikey Ambrose. Nicholas Firmino. David Mejia toward the penalty spot, headed just wide, and Robbie Mertz had a chance.
Great ball from Mejia to pick out Mertz. Conway occupying defenders on the back post. Mertz comes driving forward through the middle. Mejia spots it. Mertz trying to pick out the far side, just can't quite do it.
And the breeze that we talked about that was creating issues in the first 45, still here, but not as much. You see the flags waving on the right-hand side of your screen.
It's died down a bit.
And as you're watching, once again, it's coming from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen. Sachero toward the arc, settled by Mikey Ambrose. Noah Cobb, nicely done to get around Andrew Booth.
Love the bravery from Noah Cobb that we're seeing tonight in possession. He's had a couple of passes that have been a bit wayward, but he's made recoveries, and he's not getting simple with his play. That was a little bit difficult for him, and he's able to play through it.
Ambrose finds Mejia again. Looking for Firmino. Booth got there first. Mejia backtracking to keep Booth from getting ahead of steam. Sends it back to Schmidt. Well done by Vijal to backtrack, keep possession for Atlanta United 2.
Great from Mejia to track back and also not commit a foul out of frustration.
Mateus tries to get around Weber. Kilwine sends it forward. That's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here late in the 53rd. Or are they going to give it to Charleston? Looks like they give it to the battery.
Yeah, took a deflection. The dribblers union is in full effect for Atlanta United 2 with Vijal down the middle, Mejia down the left, Mateus down the right. They have to be productive, though. They're going to beat defenders, but then they have to make chances happen.
Conway, Vijal, Mikey Ambrose, long run, and he'll get there. Pass Schmidt. Schmidt looking for help. Mejia toward the top of the sixth. Kuzminski is there as Conway was closing.
Different kind of ball that time from Mejia. Wanted someone to cut across to it. Good look from Mejia, mixing up his service. Schmidt having a difficult time on the right side for Charleston when Ambrose gets forward and Mejia is there. Those two are able to combine consistently to create opportunities.
Here's another look at it. Come back down to the other end. Augustine Williams. DeJohn is there. Has to turn around, but he found Kwakwa. Gets around McFadden. Noah Cobb once again. Williams in with the left. Blocked a second time. It's going to be a throw for the battery.
So Cobb got trucked by Kwakwa in the initial sequence of it. He gets up and makes a play. Great work from Noah Cobb, who's feeling the effects of the first collision with Kwakwa.
Eric Centeno checking in, and that'll be the night for David Mejia.
A lot of hard work for David Mejia. Played on Wednesday as well. He's played every minute so far this season. Those legs get heavy. Playing a midweek game and then turning around and playing on the weekend against an opponent who didn't do the same thing, and an opponent like Charleston that makes you suffer anyway. It's difficult. Now Centeno has an opportunity to run it. Tired legs.
Great job shielding there by Robbie Mertz. Castanera working quickly.
But Centeno has to create the connection and the chemistry with Mikey Ambrose behind him. That was starting to work well for Mejia and Ambrose.
Centeno calling for it at the top of the screen. DeJohn into the middle. Good touch from Conway to Vijal. Gets past Sachero. McFadden cuts it inside. 1-2s quickly. There's Vijal down the right hand. Cuts it back, looking for Mateus. Trying to come after the second ball. Well done, won by Robbie Mertz. Just inside the area. Kwakwa was there to defend. Vijal, chip. Conway, header in! We're tied at 1. A great ball. Jackson Conway elevates, gets past Kuzminski, and we are all tied. Man advantage to Atlanta United 2, and we're now drawn at 1 apiece in the 57th.
Charleston has been disrupted with pressure. This time it's Atlanta who forces a turnover. Mertz lays it off to Vijal, and a brilliant ball from Jonathan Vijal to play that up for Jackson Conway. Go get it! Conway heads it down past Kuzminski, 1-1.
Great work by Jonathan Vijal.
And Robbie Mertz and Nicholas Firmino, who are all involved in winning the ball back. That's a team goal that Conway finishes off.
Tied at 1s now. Nicholas Firmino gets around Augustine Williams. Alex DeJohn. Mikey Ambrose. Booth was closing up and over. Mertz gets past Schmidt. Back to Centeno with his first touch. Nicholas Firmino. Mikey Ambrose. Robbie Mertz in a closed space. Firmino looking for Mateus. Battery briefly coming out with it, but Vijal kept the pressure, and Alex DeJohn won the header. Just a slip, no reason for a whistle there. Centeno now. As Vijal sent in, far post, looking for the volley and just missed goal number 2.
What a look as that one just hung in the air for Aiden McFadden to run onto. Beautiful cross, and McFadden did not miss by much. Nearly a goal of the week from Aiden McFadden. Great to see him back into the team after an early red card a couple of games ago. Kyle Johnston not happy with the very slow pace to bring the ball back into play.
Joe Kuzminski asking questions with his hands going skyward. Sends it just past center circle. DeJohn won the initial header. Volleyed up into the air. Tracking it down is Darwin Mateus as he gets there before Kilwine does. Cuts inside past Kilwine. They're going to call a foul as the speed from Darwin Mateus left Preston Kilwine with only one alternative, and that was to foul just outside the 18.
Jack Collison believes in magic, and he thinks he's got it with Vijal and with Mateus. Little magician Darwin Mateus finds space where there isn't any.
Quick start. Sent in with the left, sent away by Damaduro. Jack Collison quickly with the one touch. Good control there to keep it so Darwin Mateus can throw it in quickly.
Of course the former West Ham man's going to have the touch.
All the way from right to left, Centeno. DeJohn. Firmino. Mikey Ambrose. Darwin Mateus. Sends it in past Weber. 1-2 with Vijal with the flick, but here comes Kwakwa. And quickly the battery come the other way with Booth. Augustine Williams tracking it down. Good work there by Noah Cobb to keep any kind of a rush from happening. Well defended that time by 39.
Outstanding 1v1 defending from the 16-year-old Noah Cobb.
Robbie Mertz, head of steam. He's got Centeno to his left. Cuts it inside. Darwin Mateus with his speed inside the area. Comes back outside. Tries to get past two battery defenders. Eric Centeno will get there for Atlanta United 2. Schmidt waiting for Centeno to go someplace. He ends up with Mikey Ambrose and Mertz. Vijal cuts it back to his left. Great footwork there. Kept his foot. Kilwine will send it out, but not all the way. And here's the pressure from Atlanta United 2. Mateus trying to get to Mikey Ambrose, but getting there first. Patrick Hogan will be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
When you have all these dribblers on the pitch, and Centeno is no slouch in that department either, it forces defenders on their heels.
Mateus punched clear by Kuzminski. Firmino will keep possession for Atlanta United 2. Robbie Mertz.
Great read by Kuzminski on that cross. No hesitation coming for it.
Firmino. Back and forth with Cobb. Finding Mertz. Through ball. Vijal cuts it back. Conway up and over.
What a look from Vijal. Got his head up. Knew exactly where he wanted to place that. Put Jackson Conway's initials on it. It was a difficult one coming back for it, but Conway almost made something of it. As we take another look, Mertz playing Vijal in, picks the spot. Good read from Hogan. Hogan made it even more difficult for Conway.
Kuzminski forward. DeJohn distracts Augustine Williams. Atlanta United 2 with possession. Cobb looking for Mateus. Too much there. Weber had initial contact, but Robbie Mertz with a head of steam again cycles through the gears. He's got Centeno off to his left. That's where he goes. Schmidt marking. Centeno step over. In with the left, right toward the top of the 6. Cleared, but not all the way out. Mikey Ambrose again. He'll send it far post. Kuzminski in between ideas. Conway header breaks 2-1.
Atlanta United 2 has the first opportunity through Centeno. It's cleared. Mikey Ambrose. Perfect placement from Mikey Ambrose. Educated left foot. Puts it right onto the forehead of Jackson Conway. All he has to do is pick a corner. He does. Kuzminski is really stuck on this one. As the defender's there, he can't come for it because he's got to then go through his defender and get to Conway. Conway just beats the defender. Kuzminski brings his team together in a huddle to try to fix it. Charleston playing with 10. Their game plan has fallen apart because it's based on being able to press up high. But it's very risky to press when you're playing with 10 instead of 11.
Jackson Conway, 2 goals, 6 minutes apart. Vijal assisting on the first. Ambrose assisting on the second. And Jackson Conway turned his back as Preston Kilwine wanted to send it forward. It ends up being deflected, heading all the way back to Kuzminski. Sending folks forward. Charleston battery. Firmino turns. Launches with the right. And Hogan back to Kuzminski again. Vijal chasing. Well done to defend by Mikey Ambrose, but Augustine Williams will get there. DeJohn is on him. Through DeJohn. Well defended that time by Cobb. Hits a Charleston battery player, and it will end up being a goal kick for Castanera. And more substitutions for Connor Casey. Andrew Booth's night is done. E.J. Johnson is now in.
Not surprised on Booth. We didn't expect to see him as he was battling an injury. Picked up in his only start of the season. Johnson on loan from Hibs in the Scottish Premier League. Spent some time with the Sacramento Republic Academy before heading over to Scotland.
Pressure by Firmino. Backtracking is Schmidt. Damaduro on the turn. Finds Williams. Kwakwa. Down the left, Sicero. It's been trouble for Atlanta United 2 in the past. Not with that. Entry toward the far post. Castanera the easy grab. Cobb and DeJohn. Back to Castanera. 66th minute here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Thanks for hanging out with us, however you were doing so, large device or small. Alongside Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson. Charleston Battery playing with 10 ever since the final moments of the first half. Second yellow card for Matt Sheldon. And 2 goals within 6 minutes for Atlanta United 2, facing a man down, 10-man side Charleston Battery. Have flipped the advantage to the twos as they now lead at 2-1 with 25 to go.
Charleston have Brett St. Martin on at left back as well. The rookie signed out of the University of Maryland, developed at Baltimore Celtics youth team, was a 2-time captain with Maryland, 2-time Big Ten first team as well. Connor Casey's looked for leadership, bringing those kinds of guys into this team. You know, you see a lot of former captains with teams, captains with their college teams. He's looking for that kind of character as he starts the rebuild process to make the Battery his.
Tristan Weber's night is done after 65 minutes. St. Martin started last week against Detroit City. Schmidt keeping an eye on Mikey Ambrose, collides with Joe Kuzminski.
He kept it in the 18. Need a little bit better communication there. Kuzminski's not going to be happy about that one.
Big hop as they were trying to get it to Sicero. Atlanta United 2. Castanera looking for Ambrose. Gets there ahead of Schmidt. Vijal. Kilwine with the grab and a half.
I mean, Kilwine should have been on a yellow card before that, but he gets his yellow now. Kilwine and Jackson Conway got into it multiple times in the first half. Vijal with the little shimmy to the left, back to the right. Kilwine has to stop him by grabbing him.
And there's your final from Orlando. USA 5-1 winners over Panama. In a must-win situation, they won and then some tonight. Hat trick for Christian Pulisic.
Panama is now out of World Cup qualifying. The U.S. has guaranteed at least getting to the playoff spot. Mexico with a second half goal. They win 1-0 in Honduras. So Canada has clinched. They're going to win World Cup qualifying in the octagonal. The U.S. right now is in second, Mexico in third, Costa Rica in fourth. Costa Rica needs to beat the U.S. and hope for a lot of help to qualify. Automatically. They're in the playoff spot at least.
Robbie Mertz in the middle. Good chip to get around Augustine Williams. Mikey Ambrose on the left-hand side has Centeno ahead of him. Ambrose charging. Flick to Centeno. Centeno looking far post. Conway again with the header, and he wanted goal number 3.
Just couldn't hang in the air quite long enough that time, Jackson Conway. Centeno hung it up for him. With the space, as Charleston playing with 10, Atlanta is focusing on the left side, really going at Joe Schmidt. Mikey Ambrose is playing as a winger pretty much on this side, and Centeno and Ambrose combined there to create an opportunity for Conway.
Alex DeJohn putting in a solid performance tonight here for Atlanta United 2. Ambrose looking for Centeno. Schmidt marking and pushing from behind. Last touched by the Battery. He's going to stick with Atlanta United 2.
We've talked a lot about Jackson Conway this season. Spent it with the first team in preseason. Big expectations for him when he plays with Atlanta United 2. He's been involved in every game with the Twos so far. Struggled a little bit on Wednesday against a really difficult Tampa Bay Rowdies defense. And after the first half where he was fouled consistently, it was difficult for him to get a rhythm. He's kept his head and kept his focus and has gotten the lead for Atlanta United 2 in the second half.
Williams. Mertz chasing after him. Back to Sicero. Firmino marking him intensely. Turnover. Mateus. He's got folks to his left and to his right. Through ball looking for Conway too much, and Kuzminski will get there.
Mateus trying to feed Conway for the hat trick. He turned and gave the thumbs up to Vishal, and Centeno maybe had a better option that way.
Second ball won by Atlanta United 2. Coming down with it, though, the Charleston battery. Getting around Mikey Ambrose was E.J. Johnson, the 18-year-old. Sent in, easy grab for Dylan Castanera.
That's great speed from Johnson to turn the corner and put the cross in.
Centeno.
Johnson really tricky on the dribble as well. A player to watch for Charleston as he gets settled with the battery.
Mertz looking for Mateus. Battery defending, goes to the back line once again of Atlanta United 2. Darwin Mateus now with possession. 360s away from Sicero. Give to McFadden. Found Vijal down the right-hand side in the corner. Kilwine has been having problems with Vijal and his speed.
Kilwine has to be careful in that spot. Vijal trying to get him to dive in. Kilwine knows he's on a yellow, just stands there and makes sure that Vijal has nowhere to go towards goal.
And that yellow only happened a couple minutes ago, so it's fresh in Kyle Johnston's mind. Robbie Mertz, center circle. Finds Mateus. Mateus slips, can't keep possession. Battery will look for Augustine Williams towards center circle. Nicely done there by Noah Cobb to John again. Ambrose has Centeno. That's where he goes. Schmidt comes out to mark him. Step overs by Eric Centeno. Sticking with it after he loses possession. Tries to muscle Schmidt off of it. Last touch by the battery.
Good recovery from Centeno. The final product on his pass not good enough, but nice defensive work.
And that's going to be a card on Kwakwa, I believe.
And it's one of those situations where, you know, if you're a Charleston Battery fan, of course now you're getting frustrated because everybody's getting yellows, but this is when they start to pile up because of all those first half fouls.
And that's the night for Nicholas Firmino. Johnny Fortune checking in for the final 17 minutes or so.
Fortune's played 45 minutes this season. Signed his Atlanta United 2 pro contract in the midst of last season after a great run of form. Saw him become a regular in Jack Collison's team in the second half of the year. 3 goals in 35 appearances in the USL Championship for the Trinidad and Tobago International.
So yellow cards here in the second half for Augustine Williams, for Kilwine, for Preston Kilwine about 5 minutes ago, and Enoch Kwakwa. So 3 yellows for Charleston here in the second 45, down a man.
Just judging from the body language from referee Kyle Johnston on those, the one for Williams was because of the incident, the foul itself. The other 2 were persistent infringement yellows.
Pass for Fortune intended for McFadden. Last touch by St. Martin. So it'll stick with Atlanta United 2. McFadden down the near touchline looking for Vijal. Knocked away by Hogan. So possession kept by the Stripes, just a little further down.
Atlanta United 2 could really use a 3rd goal to give themselves a cushion. Augustine Williams up top doesn't need much of an opportunity for Charleston to get them back into this.
Foul as Jackson Conway was getting inside the 18.
Nice work on the dribble from Conway. Kind of game that we've been waiting for from him in 2022.
Maduro steps in.
Heavy challenge there for Maduro with no opportunity to get to the ball. A dangerous set piece opportunity for Mateus and Vishal.
Darwin Mateus up and over. caught it full with 15 minutes to go. And so Joe Kuzminski will take his time here with 15 to go. One hop to Sachero. Aduro. Augustine Williams looking for some help, motioning for it down the left-hand side. St. Martin skipped up and over. Williams, McFadden marking. Chipped in the center of the pitch. Aduro had possession, back out on the left to Augustine Williams. St. Martin. McFadden marking Williams as he comes into the middle of the pitch. Schmidt, far post, up and over Williams, but tracking it down is Kwakwa. Fortune coming out, top of the sixth. First touch deflected, turned around. Sachero, volley just wide.
Atlanta United 2 struggling to clear that one as it just kept rebounding into Battery players. First attempt not cleared. Johnson tries to find it. Opportunity at the end over the bar. Charleston picking up the pressure on Atlanta as they play the goal kick short.
Through Centeno. Centeno regaining possession, spins away from Schmidt. Mertz. Over to the right-hand side, McFadden. Johnny Fortune. Fortune looking for Mateus. St. Martin was there. His deflection went backwards. Vijal tracks it down for Atlanta United 2. Back to Noah Cobb. DeJohn. Ambrose. Mertz. Ambrose gets around Johnson. Mateus. Mertz now. Through ball. Mateus. Gets around Hogan, looking far post. Too much for Conway. Vijal has it. Chip to Jackson Conway. Turn it in! Hat trick for Jackson Conway the natural way. 78th minute. There's your third goal, Jason Longshore. Tremendous feed to Jackson Conway.
The big man with the big hat trick to get Atlanta United a 3-1 lead. But look at the supporting cast. Darwin Mateus picks out Vijal on the backside, and the little flick just giving Jackson whatever he wants with that. Vijal, first pro start, composure to bring it down, flicks it to Conway, and Conway buries it.
Jackson Conway, the hat trick. Vijal, 2 assists in his first start. Definite reason for Jackson Conway to smile. Great night for 36 for the Stripes. "11 minutes to go. Atlanta United 2 with the third goal on the board. Conway in the 57th, Conway in the 63rd, Conway again in the 79th, and that's where we are. And with 10 to go, Joe Kuzminski sends it from one end of the pitch to the other. McFadden pulls it back to get away from Sachero. Robbie Mertz. Alex DeJohn. Cobb and Mertz back and forth. Through a line to Darwin Mateus, who's got speed and space. Mateus. Well done there by Schmidt, as Centeno was the intended target.
Great work by Schmidt. Held his ground. Made sure that one couldn't get all the way through to Centeno.
DeJohn. Defensive side of center circle. Back to Castanera. And player down for the Battery. Waiting to see who it is. It's Ina Kwakwa who's down.
A lot of hard running for Kwakwa in that midfield. Looked like he was holding his right quad. He'll be subbed out and helped off.
Shaq Adams will be coming in very short order.
Adams, the Nashville native, started both games so far this year. He's played in both games so far this year, Shaq Adams. An electric player who spent the last 2 years with FC Tucson. Had 11 goals for them in USL League One. Fans out there, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app.
And for the final 10 minutes, Luke Brennan will be coming in. Jonathan Vijal's night is done with 2 assists.
What a night for Vijal. Outstanding in his first pro start. Player that had deeply impressed Jack Collison with his fearlessness. Luke Brennan is another player who Jack Collison talked about a lot from his performance against Tampa Bay.
Drop ball to restart.
Good on both teams there because Atlanta was in possession when the referee stopped it.
Last touch by Mertz. It'll stick with the battery. Well done by DeJohn to be there to keep Augustine Williams from turning inside the area. Possession for Atlanta United 2. As Luke Brennan was looking for Aiden McFadden, last touched by the battery.
Brennan trying to hit the overlapping McFadden. Brennan is constantly moving on the pitch. 17-year-old spent some time with Atlanta United's first team in preseason, played in a fixture over in Athens at the University of Georgia.
I'm going to call a foul on Atlanta United 2 there.
Connor Casey's Charleston Battery will try to find one here if they can to make a game of it in the last 7 minutes and some change.
E.J. Johnson and Mikey Ambrose with some hand fighting, was 50-50. Well done there by Centeno. Last touched by the Charleston Battery and by Shaq Adams, so it'll be a throw for the home side.
Adams brings a lot of energy on the right side for Charleston.
DeJohn sweeping left, chested, well directed by Conway. Well controlled by Darwin Mateus, but Schmidt stuck with it for Charleston.
Mateus went for the second one too, couldn't quite pull that off.
Aduro, Sachero going far post, looking for Augustine Williams, overcooked it. Tried to keep it in, looked like he did. Schmidt, Brennan come together, no whistle there from Johnston. Here comes Mateus. He's got Centeno. I thought Kuzminski might be called off his line, I think.
Yes, Mateus is trying to play it over Kuzminski. Didn't quite work. Kuzminski was out of his goal box, but not that far. Mateus didn't get enough on it.
Sachero, back heel, as he's trying to find a teammate there. Cleared away by Atlanta United 2. Hogan working quickly for the Battery.
Great work by Cobb to get in the way of that back heel.
Johnson into the middle. Augustine Williams now. Kilwine working on a yellow. Schmidt got Luke Brennan to commit toward the back post. Headed away by Mikey Ambrose in control. He'll find Centeno. Cynical challenge there from Aduro.
Another one who probably should have been a yellow by now. gets it here. A number of fouls by Oduro in the middle of the park. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com.
Ambrose restarts, trying to find Mateus. Too much, but not by much. Kuzminski gets there.
Good look from Mikey Ambrose. Just overhit it a touch.
Kuzminski looking for those tall targets he has in Sachero and Williams. We'll get it for a redo. They're working on the ground floor, back and forth with Kilwine. Center circle, over to John. Johnson looking for Shaq Adams in the right-hand corner. Fortune and Centeno. Good turn by Centeno. Step overs once again, and he'll get past Hogan. Briefly, Hogan with the left hand kept Centeno from getting any further.
Great work by Eric Centeno. 3-1 lead. You can try some stuff. Get the fans excited. Atlanta consistently looking for technical players and players who are strong on the dribble. Centeno fits the bill. Still a work in progress. 19, one season in college, the Generation Adidas draft pick for Atlanta United. But this is a good game for him to start to build that confidence.
Cobb to Fortune. Williams in pursuit. Give to McFadden. He's got Brennan with him down the right-hand side. Back and forth with Mateus. McFadden. Robbie Mertz. Switches there to Ambrose on the left. Ambrose on the charge has Centeno. That's where he will go. Two Battery players step out. Give back to Ambrose. Centeno again. McFadden. Through ball. Centeno tries to get around Hogan. Can't do it.
I wanted to share a message from a tweet from an Atlanta United Academy coach, Will Bates. He tweeted this last night with a highlight from an Atlanta United Academy match. And he said a visual reminder for us as youth coaches to let the kids express themselves on the field. I think you're seeing that play out here. He went on to say individual chance creation is difficult. Allow them to fail over and over again. That one moment of magic is worth it. Got a few moments like that tonight.
No doubt about it. Conway through ball looking for Mateus. Didn't miss by much. Can Darwin Speed get there? No. Great idea from Jackson Conway trying to share the wealth tonight.
Almost another moment of magic. But Jack Collison has really leaned into that with his lineup selection today. And you go back to the beginning, it was not a good start for Atlanta United 2. The pressure of Charleston completely disrupted what Atlanta wanted to do early on. Made a number of mistakes. But Vijal, Mejia, Centeno, Mateus, all were allowed to make those mistakes and continue on. He had that belief in what they bring to the team. And they brought some chances tonight that Jackson Conway put into the back of the net.
Foul called on Centeno as Shaq Adams tried to turn. 30 seconds left, plus any other added time. Chance with the right, just missed. E.J. Johnson wound up with the right and didn't miss the near post by much.
It's important for Charleston Battery fans as we take another look here. One, E.J. Johnson's going to be a player to keep an eye on for sure. I think he's going to be a big factor for the Battery as the year goes on. But the project that Connor Casey has started is in its very early days. What I've been so impressed with straight out of the gate, even with playing with 10, is the identity. You see the clear identity of what he wants. 3 more minutes to show it, but they're taking on the personality that he wants them to take. The quality, the consistency, those things will come. But he's already got a clear identity of what he wants the Charleston Battery to be. And watching this project play out in this 2022 season and beyond is going to be a fascinating one in the USL Championship.
Win against FC Tulsa, lost last week, Charleston, to Detroit City.
Look, it's not quite there yet. You know, he wants them to be better with the ball at times. He wants them to play at a high tempo. You know, he has a very clear idea of how he wants the Battery to play, and they executed a good bit. It dropped off in the first half. Atlanta grew into the game. They were able to get some situations that led to the 2 yellows and the red card on Sheldon, and that changed the game completely.
Castanera looking for Mikey Ambrose there. Big hop up and over Mikey, so it'll go to the Charleston Battery. Great work by Alex DeJohn tonight at the back as well.
Love when those veterans are able to mix in with 16-year-olds and young players. They just provide such a grounding element to Atlanta United 2. Mikey Ambrose always up for a game, always up for that fight. Alex DeJohn really has helped Noah Cobb. I think Noah Cobb's had one of his best performances tonight. I think DeJohn being there with him after playing a good bit with him in preseason with the first team really helped Noah Cobb's development tonight.
Hogan trying to keep Conway from getting any further forward, playing advantage right now. Mertz, Atlanta United 2 is charging. Mertz cuts it inside, cuts it back out. Grounder, easy pickup by Kuzminski that time.
Robbie Mertz has been outstanding tonight too, especially once it turned into an 11v10 contest, really leading by example the captain, Robbie Mertz.
Johnson, centrally, finds Cicero. All the way over to the left-hand side, Augustine Williams. Brennan there defending. Schmidt cuts it inside. Damaduro tries to scoop it into a runner to Schmidt just inside the 18, but Castanera will get there. Last 30 seconds for Atlanta United 2. That much closer to their first win on the season. Centeno plays it back to Mertz. McFadden off to his right. Johnny Fortune. McFadden and Mertz as well. Johnny Fortune, a lot of room. Cuts it back to Conway, who missed. Volley it in! Jackson Conway missed the first touch, but goal number 4 on the board. Welcome back to the score sheet, Darwin Mateus.
Great closing chapter to tonight's book to get Darwin Mateus on the score sheet. He only played 7 minutes coming in, injured in the last preseason game. He had 6 goals and 2 assists last year, got better throughout the 2021 season. The 20-year-old from Venezuela will be a big part of Atlanta United 2 this year. Great to get him going tonight.
Goal number 4 on the board for the Five Stripes. And that'll do it. Atlanta United 2 in a rivalry game. We're at home. The series has been 2-2-2. Lifetime get goal number 3, get win number 3. That guy got 3 goals on the night, Jackson Conway.
Great performance from Jackson Conway. Knocked around in the first 45 consistently, held his ground, kept his nerve, led Atlanta United 2 to a win. And those magicians, and there were multiple of them tonight, those magicians, the individual chance creators for Atlanta United 2 came through in a massive way for Jack Collison.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the player of the match. Guess who that's going to be? Plus, we'll put a bow on it here from Fifth Third. Atlanta United 2, first win of the season, 4-1 over the Charleston Battery.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. Atlanta United 2 4-1 winners over the Charleston Battery. Connor Casey thanking the officials for their hard work tonight. Let's take a peek at our man of the match, and no real hard guesses as to who it is tonight. 36 in the 5 stripes, Jackson Conway, brought to us by our friends at Piedmont Orthopedic.
It's the kind of night that Jackson Conway has to start having consistently. We've seen it in flashes. He had 12 USL Championship goals in his career coming into it. He kept fighting. This is the year for Conway to put all those pieces in his game together and give you man-of-the-match performances consistently.
All right, let's take a peek at where these two teams go from here. You mentioned the build for the Connor Casey administration here for the Charleston Battery. They've got 2 of those crossovers out west. They host Vegas at Patriots Point, then they go to San Diego Loyal, then the Eastern Conference picks up again.
Those tricky ones with Vegas and San Diego lead you into two games with 2 teams that are really top-notch in the Eastern Conference. We'll get a sense of how far along Connor Casey's project is when they host Louisville and they go to Birmingham.
Then for the home side and Atlanta United 2, let's take a peek at their next 5. We'll be back here in 2 weeks against Le Rouge, but you see those next 5, what do you see?
Couple of trips. Hartford, always a long trip for Atlanta United 2, a difficult one. Indy as well, a difficult place to go in and get results. Pittsburgh was a really difficult one last year for Atlanta United 2. 2 home games, Detroit City and Louisville City. It doesn't get any easier for Atlanta United 2. These are some some teams that play styles that are difficult for this young team.
And 3 of the next 4 on the road as well for the 2s. Let's take a look at our final stats on the night. It was 16-7 in one category at the break, 23-10 by the time we were done.
Yeah, probably could have been a few more there. The yellow cards picked up as well. When you see 23 fouls, that yellow card number has to kind of rise along with it. The Atlanta United side, possession, great to see, something they have struggled with a little bit this season, almost 68%, but 22 shots and 7 on target. Jack Collison will be thrilled.
Hat trick, Jackson Conway, 2 assists on the night for Jonathan Vijal in his first professional start. Great work by Atlanta United 2 in their 4-1 win over the Charleston Battery. There's the man of the match, probably getting one of the best rewards that you ever could from someone who got to watch the game firsthand. For Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson. For everybody here at Fifth Third, thanks for hanging out with us here. The USL Championship on ESPN+. Big win for the Stripes tonight. Big night for Jackson Conway. Just as big for Jonathan Vijal. Fantastic work by them to help get full points for the Stripes. For everybody here, thanks for hanging out with us. It's been the USL Championship on ESPN+. We will be back here at home on the 9th against Detroit City. Play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.